Now, over the last several weeks and months, we've been looking at technology that allows you to have a side hustle or small business. And today we're taking a look at the IKIER K1 ULTRA, which is a very capable laser engraver that really takes out some of the challenges when you're going to be engraving. We're going to take a look at the print quality that you can get, or the engraving quality that you can get, the cutting capability that you have, as well as some of the things that we created when we were testing out this laser engraver. So let's get right to it. Now, this engraver is a 36-watt engraver. That's pretty powerful, right? It's going to give you a lot of cutting power. Matter of fact, you're going to be able to cut 30-millimeter wood in a single pass. And you're also going to be able to cut 15-millimeter acrylic in a single pass. And we did cut some very thick material, which you'll see in some of our testing. It does have a very large area to work in. We're talking about a 410 by 410 millimeter work area. It also has what I feel is one of my favorite features, a motorized Z, which means that the laser head goes up and down. And one of the things that it does with that is that it also uses autofocus. So you don't have to take anything out to measure what your focus level is to be able to get the best engraved. Now, it does have a manual focus option, but once you go autofocus, there's no going back to manual. So we really enjoyed the autofocus. It does also have resume engraving in the event that you have some type of power outage. And then it also has this auto sync for cutting, which means that it's going to give you the most powerful cuts, cleanest cuts that you will find in a laser engraver or cutter that comes into the same power range as this one. And you're going to see how clean the cuts are. It also comes with an automatic air assist, which I really like. And the neat thing about this is that when the printer is on, or in this case, the engraver is on, you hear no noise. There's really none. And I've reviewed a lot of laser engravers that when they're on, you just hear this fan cooling. Or if you have the air assist, it's actually going on. And let's face it, an air assist system is more of a compressor than anything else. So imagine that going on as you're designing or as you're doing some work. And I love the fact that this one is completely silent and you're able to see it or hear it as soon as you start engraving if you enable the air assist function. The other thing about the air assist that you'll find as we see the video is that it does a really fine job of keeping the material scorch-free. And that's the really power of an air assist, is that you're not going to get those flame outs and it's not going to burn any kind of engraving that you have. And we found a really good experience with that. It has infrared positioning and it has one of the largest laser pointers that you're going to be able to find when it comes to positioning. It has a flame detection system so that if there's any kind of flare-ups, rest assured that it's going to shut off. It also then has a child safety lock feature. So you need a key and you need to be able to power it on. So you need two things, the key to turn it, unlock it, and then the button to be pressed in order to turn it on. It has like tilt features as well. And it's a laser engraver that's going to work with light burn and then also laser gerbil as well. Wi-Fi capable as well. And it has the ability to be able to take in a USB for loading files that you would like to engrave. So very, very capable, very fast, and great quality. So let's take a closer look. All right, guys, so this laser is really fast. Just to give you a sense, this slate took just a little bit over 5 minutes, under 6 minutes, between 5 and 6 minutes to complete. And let me go ahead and pull this out so you can see the overall quality of what we're getting off of it. That is really, really good quality. Okay? And imagine what you can do. So just around 5 minutes per slate. So that means you're looking at maybe 20 minutes to get 4 done really quick. And we also ran a material test just to see kind of like what we could get out of it. And here you can see the material test that we took. Now, some of the characters, I had got them backwards. I didn't flip them off. But you can see kind of like the color variation. So you could actually get some grays and some whites out of the machine. Very, very, very nice. And one of the nice things about this, and you'll notice in my setup, what I did here is I like working with as close as I can alignment as possible. So what I like doing is measuring my material. I run a box, which represents the size of the slate. And then pretty much every single time this is done, it comes back to the same position. So if I want to do 4 or 5 of them and I don't have a jig, all I have to do is put it in the same place. So there's a really light line that represents the outline of where the slate is going to be. Now, this one of the cool things about this machine is that it does have a Z-axis autofocus. So if I were to put this tile right here, and put it right here for a second, and I'm going to go ahead and hit autofocus, so you need to see what will happen. We're going to go to my controls here, and I have a macro where I've programmed it, and watch what's going to happen. So the laser is going to go up, and it's going to go down, adjusting itself until it gets the perfect focus. This makes it super easy and error-free when it comes to just trying to figure out what's the right focus for any kind of engraving. So you switch the material, you basically do a focus, you switch, you basically run a material test like I just did right here just to make sure that you have the right material. And right now, this thing is in perfect focus for that specific area. And keep in mind that I went ahead and ran that. Let's take a look at some of the other features of this laser. Now, for this specific engrave, I did not use the air assist, but it does come with an air assist, which is going to keep, especially when it comes to woods, I find that air assist is really important because it's going to blow some air and it's going to keep things nice and crispy, and it's going to eliminate any burns. You do have an on sports screen it's one that's highly removable, and you can go here and actually see different things that are going on. So you can set the language, you can do tilt detection, flame detection, which I think is pretty great. Autofocus, you have resume engraving, touch sound, auxiliary positioning. We'll go over here, and then you have your about. Just to give you guys a sense of the actual firmware version. So you can see what my firmware version is, the April release, April 11th, 2023. And you can see the size of the bed or the engraving area, 410 by 410. Now I'm going to go back out of here. I had something in the memory slot that's right here, I could go into engrave, and then I could choose something from the memory slot. I did everything from my machine. It has on the side here a couple of connections. One is the HDMI cable for this. You have the USB-C that goes to your computer, and then the power cord here. Now, the cool thing also about this is that you do have a power button, and also you have over here a little key function. That's going to make sure that if you have any kids and if they don't have the keys, they're not going to be able to do anything with it. Immediately turned off as soon as I did that. Now it's going to power up again, and and you'll notice how everything powered up. Very, very, very fast power up. Now, you do have the Z also is adjustable. I'm going to show you that in a second. Now, with these two screws that you have right here, you're able to loosen this to move this up or down if you wanted to. Remember, this is going to have your Z up here automatically moves up and down. But let's say, for example, you have something that needs to be a little bit taller. What you can do is it has this from all the way down here, all the way up to here as slidability. So you can move it up manually and then allow the autofocus to adjust as you need the height, especially if you're going to put this on any form of riser. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut a 18 millimeter piece of wood. And this is basically just standard wood that I picked up at Home Depot. I've actually sped this up a bit, and it's actually going a lot faster than it really was because I had it at speed of 1, and then I had power of 100. The one thing I'll just highlight is look at how clean the top layer is where you did the cut. And you'll notice as soon as it comes across, this is a single pass cut, it came off. And it is super duper clean. Now, the next thing we'll take a look at is the result. And you can see how clean this is. No burn marks. Everything is super clean. The edges are just perfect. Love how fast this goes. All right, guys, so let's wrap up this review with just looking at the materials that we cut. So this was a single pass cut, as you saw in the video. And this is going to be for a piece of wood that is 18 millimeters thick. Let's go ahead and make sure you guys can see that. So here is a piece of wood, 18.85 millimeters thick. And that was done a single cut. And that was at 100%, 1 second. Right? Here's another piece that we engraved. Now, this is a image that I had created for my cousin. Soccer ball with a lion. And I did this in Mid-Journey. So you can see how nice that looks. Came out really nice. I love the engrave there. But like everything, I did a pattern test on one side, and I ran the engrave on the other. The other thing that we did is we ran also a tile, right? And we wanted to see this slate coaster, and we wanted to see what was the best speed and also color to engrave. And we went ahead and we created this one right here. So you can see dogs, books, and coffee. That kind of goes with everything in our home, right? With all our palms. So all in all, what can I say about the engraver? It's fast. Air assist, check that out. That is super clean, right? And even when I look at some of the numbers right here that we engraved, let's go ahead and see if we can get that in focus. Some of those numbers there came out really, really nice and crispy. They're very small, and I didn't really see any overburn. So I was really, really nice, happy with that. The other thing is, look at that cut. No burning, right? So I really like the way that the air assist works. I do like all the security features, the fact that it does have a key, USB access, although I did not use that. I'm sure this comes with the riser system. I had to kind of bring the actual engraver up with some coasters to bring it up so I could get the height to cut the wood that I was cutting. I have it on the outside. I love that the air assist turns on only when the laser's on. So even though you can adjust the intensity with the knob, it doesn't really fire or stay on as it's connected. You know, if you enable air assist through the software, it's enabled, and then you can adjust the actual power flow coming out of it. You can't see a percentage, right? So that's, I would say, a limitation. So it's going to be dial-based, and it's based on what you feel or how much air is coming across, but it does a really nice job. That wraps up our review. See you in the next video.